Okie dokie. How you darn? Let me know who I'm hanging out with, who's in the chat here on a Tuesday night. This stream goes down in history. 13th of February 2024. We never get to have this day again. Let's make it a good one, yeah? Let's make it a good one, you and me, and we're gonna talk about some dynasty teams, give some direction, talk about some potential moves that we might be able to make, and hopefully help some people out in today's stream. But what's up, Styles? I see you in the chat. Theo says, "Let's get it." She says, "What's up?" Or Double L says, "She." What's up, Among Us? Pierce says, "Vikes had an interest for the number 3 pick. Could that change how Jane Daniels is drafted in rookie drafts?" Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, and nothing is, even though it feels so solidified right now, nothing in any rookie draft is really solidified at this point. So yeah. What's up, Waffle Boy? Welcome in. What's up, Nelson? Welcome in. What's up, people? Welcome in. Thanks for joining me today. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button as the stream is getting going. First stream without Badaki. Yes, he is on baby leave. I cannot tell you that there's a baby yet. I'm pretty sure he's at the hospital. I think she's being induced at the moment. And we should get baby soon. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. But I'm excited to be reviewing some of your dynasty teams today. And first up, the first team we are going to look at today all together is going to be, I'm going to murder this. I'm sorry. Emanike 90? That sounds right. Emanike 90? That sounds right. Surely that sounds right. And I think this might be Isaiah here because he has the same last name. Isaiah, is this your team? Let us know in the chat. But huge thank you for the love and for the support. I am excited to dive into your team and hopefully give you some good direction moving forward. Now, to anyone out there who wants to have their dynasty team reviewed by yours truly, it's a very simple process. All you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member using the promo code LAND, and then you will unlock access to have one of your dynasty teams reviewed by us over here on the Dynasty Land channel. Like I said, become a Mother Flocker member over on the Flock Fantasy website. Not only will you get a dynasty team review, you'll also unlock our 2024 Dynasty Rookie Report. You can see the additions in V2 here. I'm already scouting players for V3. In fact, there's a video coming out soon where I'm talking about rookies that no one is talking about. I think I might have found some real gems. I really do, guys. I think I might have found some real gems. I'm excited to add them to V3. And for that video, you also unlock our rankings. You can filter rankings by adding a specific expert or looking at the expert consensus, the community consensus, prospects, one quarterback, SuperFlex, as well as unlimited access to the Dynasty Trade Calculator. But yeah, once you become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, go to account, link your Discord up here, and then you should be able to unlock all of our premium channels here under the Fantasyland Football tab, including the roster submissions tab, where you see Emanike here put his team, and it looks like it is his team, which is awesome. So let's get to it. So team name is No Way But Up. I'm going to go ahead and guess that we are a rebuilding team preemptively with that team name, but we will find out. He says it's a start 9 offensive players and 3 IDPs, no tight end premium, no SuperFlex. Okay, so we've got a 1 quarterback start 9 league. There is IDP. He says he has the 102, 105, 106, 203, and 206. I made a ton of mistakes, but hoping to start my rebuild process and still be in the middle of the pack for next season. Guys, I need help in knowing what I should do in the draft. What trades am I able to make without touching my first 3 rounders? Who should I target with my first rounders in this year's draft? All right, awesome. Let's okay, so 1 quarterback, start 9, no tight end premium. Let's have a look at the team. No Way But Up. At the moment, Keep Trade Cut has you ranked as the 5th team in their power rankings. And they've got someone who they think is the big dog of your league. They think someone is just over dominant. They've given them a 99 out of 100 grade compared to 3 teams who are in the 40s down below. So it looks like this team up here at the top, looks like they're going to be running the show for a while here. And that probably is the case looking at that squad. No, not going to lie to you. But let's have a look at the team here. Team 5. Again, we're called No Way But Up. So, 1 quarterback league. We have Tua Tags. We have Baker Mayfield and Trey Lance. Look, that's fine for 1 quarterback league. Certainly, you don't have like one of those locked and loaded top 8 options, which is obviously what you would prefer to have in a 1 quarterback format. We'll talk about that. At the running back spot, you got some pieces. But you certainly don't have like a locked and loaded top 15 guy. At the wide receiver spot, again, we have some pieces, but no clear top 20 option in Dynasty. And at the tight end spot, we have Kyle Pitts. So look, if I was to grade each position from, a standard school grade, A to F, quarterbacks, because it's a 1 quarterback format. And by the way, this is a 10-team league. So because it's a 10-team league and a 1 quarterback format, I would probably put you at like a C+. SuperFlex league, this isn't as bad. Actually, it's still pretty bad, but I'll put you at a C+. At the running back spot, probably C+ again, somewhere around there. Wide receiver, again, probably C+. And at the tight end spot, you'd probably be sitting right around a B+ territory. So we have a lot of work to do, is what I would say. We have a lot of work to do. In fact, I don't want to be pessimistic, but what I will say is honesty, I think, is the most important thing when it comes to us giving you guys advices with your teams. I think, we could very easily say, yes, you have a chance to compete this year. With these draft picks, everything's going to turn around and you're going to be competing this year, ready to go. But I think that would be inaccurate to tell you that. When I look at this team and I compare them to the teams at the top, Herbert, Love, Bijan, Achane, Jefferson, Chase, Amon-Ra, Puka, Laporta. Team 2, Allen, Gibbs, White, Collins, Olave, Hawkinson. Team 3, Richardson, Saquon, Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Jordan Addison, Tank Dell, Dalton Kincaid, Mark Andrews. No, we're nowhere near competing, and we have to be realistic here. This is a multi-year rebuild still. Because, quite frankly, there's not really even those foundational pieces that we feel comfortable building around. I wouldn't say there's a single pillar player on this team unless Kyle Pitts develops into being a superstar that we all know that he can be. Isaac says, let's get it that passing. But look, I think honesty is important there. So let's be honest. First things first. You're not competing this year. With the draft picks that you have, you're not competing for a serious championship next year either. Okay? Now, you could certainly make the playoffs, because if you have a 6-team playoff in this 10-team league, which let me know in the comment section what your playoffs look like. But if you have a 6-team playoff, format, well, not a lot of teams down here are much better than you. I mean, we're looking at Team 10 here. Honestly, though, I don't actually want to be rude, but I don't think Keep Trade Cut has the rankings right here. I think this team is better than yours. It's certainly older. I'm not going to say it's better than yours. When you include the draft capital, you're probably ahead of them. But this guy's got the 101. Like, this guy's definitely competing this year. Like, let's be realistic for a second. You are probably looking at the rest of these teams. You're probably in contention for a top 3 pick in next year's draft. And to be honest, in a way, I'd rather be in your position than like this guy down here who has Ayuk, Diggs, Myers, but 109's his first pick. Or this team that has Zay Flowers as their wide receiver 1 and Kupp and Downs. Well, they have the 101. But even guys like Team 8 and Team 7 who are clearly win now teams, but you look at their team and you stack it up against the top 3 teams in this league, it's like, yeah, you pat them on the back. You're competing, buddy. Yeah, you're competing. Go ahead. Go out there and compete, you know? I'd rather be in your position. In fact, I think the one thing that you do have going for you is that you might be the most realistic team outside of the top team in this league. The top team in this league is saying, I'm absolutely competing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Everyone else is like, yeah, we're going to go out and compete. We're going to go make a run. Look at us, guys. We got a bunch of vets. Nothing could go wrong. So in that sense, you are at least like a very defined direction. You know, those top 2 teams are competing. Everyone else is just in the middle. And you are very clearly trying to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, you know, you're not in a bad situation from the perspective of you know exactly where you want to go, right? Let's start at quarterback. Keep in mind, guys, the rules are different for SuperFlex in a 1 quarterback league. The rules are different for a 10-team versus a 12-team league. This is a 10-team 1 quarterback. So really our goal is to get one of those top 5 assets if we ever want to compete and really win a championship. So 2 is a fine keep. Baker Mayfield probably has little to no value in this league. In a Superflex league, he has a ton. So just keep that in mind. I think in this scenario, man, see, some people are really not going to like this, but I really do think in chat, I would love for you guys to give me your opinion here because I love as many opinions in the space as possible. Let's help Amike as much as we can. I think the 106, I would not rule this out for a quarterback. The 1 quarterback gang is going to absolutely hate me for saying this, but I would not rule out Caleb Williams at the 106. You know, every time we do 1 quarterback content on the rookie class, there are 2 completely different sets of comments from the 1 quarterback community. One is, these quarterbacks are going way too high. There's no way in hell any quarterback should go in the first round. The other side of it is, how is Caleb Williams falling this far? There's no way Caleb Williams and this generational talent should be going this late in drafts. There is no in-between between the 1 quarterback community. That's been consistent over the years. Every league values quarterbacks differently. But in this league, 10-teamer, those elite of the elite quarterbacks are so much more valuable. In this league, 10-team, 1 quarterback, I think that Caleb Williams is in contention for the 106. Let me pull up my 1 quarterback rankings here so I can see who my 106 is ranked at. Because you're not getting a Dunze. You're not getting a Brock Bowers there. Keep in mind, guys, 1 quarterback format. Those guys are out of contention here. Right? In my 1 quarterback format, the 106, you're at best getting a Troy Franklin or a Brian Thomas, which is a very good player. So don't get me wrong. That's a very good player. But what if Caleb Williams becomes the next great quarterback? There's a higher percentage chance that he doesn't, but that could give you a real piece to grow with moving forward. Let me see what people are saying here in the chat. Isaiah says, throw them at me, guys. I need all the help I can get. I'd love to see what the people are saying here on what I said. Styles says, I don't play 1 quarterback, but I think Caleb is in play at the 106 for sure. Definitely more upside than Tua. Dane says he needs to load up a wide receivers. No, I totally hear you. We got so many picks. We can load up at wide receivers with every other pick, man. Neighbors at 2 for sure. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Definitely. That should be the case. Yep, for sure. Caleb at the 106, especially since he's got the 105 and the 106. Yes, definitely agree with Mark here. We don't need to look at running backs anytime soon. So yeah, most people are on board with Caleb at the 106. I'm going position by position, guys. We'll talk about all those picks. But position by position, all I will say is Caleb is 100% in play at the 106 here, okay? You know, at the 205, it's very unlikely that a Jaden Daniels or a Drake May is there, but that's a no-brainer if they're there. Otherwise, we don't really need to make a huge move at this position yet, because keep in mind, our goal this entire year is to add impact players. We need to get some pillars on this team, but we're also okay to still be one of the lowest scoring teams in the entire league, because we have no intention of competing this year. We want to be bad. We want to be a top 3 draft pick in next year's draft as well, right? So all I will say is Caleb is totally in play. You know, we can talk, like, I heard some people in the chat talking about trade Baker Mayfield. Let's be honest, though, for a second. Isaiah, let me know how your league values quarterbacks. Like, what are you going to... I don't think you get a second-round pick for Baker in this format. A 10-team, 1 quarterback, right? So I'm totally open to trading him if you can get like a 25 second or something, you know? For Tua, if you can get any first in any year, you take that. But I just don't think you're going to get much worth a return in this format. So let me know, Isaiah, if your league values quarterbacks higher than other 1 quarterback formats. Let's move on to running back, though. You got Stevenson, Najee, Keaton Mitchell, Dameon Pierce, A.J. Dillon, and, you know, some dudes that play in the NFL, right? Now, I have been notoriously not a Ramondre Stevenson guy on this channel. Y'all know that. That's been a point of contention for a lot of people in the Dynasty community with me. I've not been a Charbonnet guy. Not been a Najee Harris guy. I also wasn't a Dameon Pierce guy. Unfortunately, all the players that I'm highlighting right now probably have very little to no interest in the trade market. Therefore, probably will get you no value in return. I'm not saying you can't go get a 4th for some of these names, but all I'm saying is it's very unlikely that these guys are going to be contributors to rebuilding your team. In fact, you might as well keep A.J. Dillon and Dameon Pierce and just hope that they have a larger role somehow next year and then move them in season. Now, guys like Ramondre Stevenson and Najee Harris, I would be super interested in packaging those guys to get a 1st-round pick. Like, what would my rankings say? Keep in mind, guys, I'm not high on these guys compared to the rest of the community. And I don't have Najee this low. That's the community's rankings. But, like, could I get, like, a 2025 mid to late 1st? I'm curious. Okay, great. So, like, that deal is in play. What does Keep Trade Cut say about that deal? I'd be curious to see what they said about that deal. Let's try and identify a running back weak team and get ideally like a mid 1st. Okay. Now, you run a risk here, right? Because how you could play this, and this is totally a fine way to play it, right? If you want to play it one of 2 ways. If you want to sell now, which is going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get good value right now. Not many people are comfortable buying running backs. But if you want to sell right now, I would aim for a mid-25 1st. I want to package those guys to a team that needs running backs. But if you want to wait, which you have every reason in the world to wait. There's no reason that you can't wait on this team. There's a chance Ramondre Stevenson has his same role as last year, and he's the guy there. There's a chance Najee Harris's value improves with Arthur Smith coming to town as the OC in Pittsburgh, right? So there's a chance you could sneak out more than a mid-1st for both of these guys combined. Like, maybe you could get a 1st and a 2nd in total value between those 2 names, right? But there is a lot of concern, I guess, going forward with those two names. Mark says he just noticed that he doesn't have his first. Is that right? This is going to make our life a lot more tough. So what happened to our 24 first here? Oh, that's going to make our life way more difficult. Oh, no. Okay. Well, our entire goal for the next month is to get our first round pick back. Who has our first round pick? Please tell me it's not one of these guys at the top. Please tell me it's not one of these teams at the top. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Isaiah says, worst mistake was selling my 25 first. Maybe I can get that back with Najee and Stevenson. Oh, geez. This is going to be tough, man. This is going to be tough. Here's the issue. Team 2 doesn't need any of the players that you have on your team. Just being honest and completely upfront here. He just doesn't need any of the players on your team. But absolutely, we need to start to try and get that 25 first back. So the first thing that we're going to try is to package these running backs. If you can sell Najee and Ramondre to get your 25 first back, you do that in a heartbeat. My friend, even if you need to add the 302, the 402, whatever. Let's try and get that deal done. Now, I would comfortably add like the names of like Terry McLaurin in there. George Pickens into there as far as like 1-for-1 deals. I'm giving you as many options to try and start exploring, right? Let's see the 25 first Pickens. What do one quarterback leagues value it as? Yeah, so the 25 first is worth more, but maybe you can add some of those third round picks that you've got or the late second. But ultimately, everything hinges on you getting that 25 first back. Because if we don't get that 25 first back, we're fighting two battles. We're trying to get young and rebuild. We're trying to get rid of players that we don't see contributing to our future. But at the same time, we're not benefiting from our own first round pick. And this is why I consistently tell people, be very, very careful of sending your own first round pick away in any deal. It might look fantastic at the time of doing it, but you have no idea when you want to pivot. When other people make bad trades and other teams get dominant, you have no idea when you will want to pivot. And if you don't have guaranteed control of your future, it's going to make things really difficult. So, yeah, I would be doing everything in my power to get that first round pick back. You know, I'd like to keep Pitts because he's really the only pillar of this team I look at and say, hey, Pitts is perfect because we know he's talented. We just got to wait for it to really kind of click. But yeah, I'd package both of those guys easily. I'd package them and add Baker Mayfield in there. Who's his quarterbacks? I mean, he's got CJ Stroud and Josh Allen. Oh, jeez. Oh, we've put ourselves in a blender here. Look. Isaiah. Your fantasy hotline is going to be a great resource for you because you need to start sending deals out. Don't be desperate, but, you know, just start to throw an offer out there. Ramondre Stevenson and Najee Harris. Does that get the deal done? No. Okay, well, what about Najee and Christian Watson? How about Najee and Terry McLaurin? Najee and George Pickens? You know, you just have to start throwing some things at the wall and seeing what will stick for this player. And your topic of conversation is, hey man, you're not competing against me. You're competing against Trump's legal team, Team 1 here, right? That's the team that you got to go and beat. You don't want some heavy hit. You don't want some more dogs on the team waiting to go. You got to, tell him who he's actually competing against right now. But look, yeah, the goal has to be to get that 25 first back. Otherwise, we are just, we're going in two separate different directions here. It's going to make it really, really tough. So that is our first goal. Get that 25 first back. Have to do that. Use the fantasy hotline. Tell us what sort of deals are on the table for you. I'd package Tua and Najee. I'd package Tua and Stevenson. I'd package one of those running backs and one of these top 3 wide receivers. I'd package both of these running backs. I'd package both of these wide receivers. I don't care, right? We need to get that 25 first back. That has to be our number one goal. Now, we've been pretty harsh. I'd say honest. But let's start to bring some hope for Isaiah here, okay? Let's start to open up the curtains, right? This team is sick. Curtains have been closed. There's been no sunshine in the room. There's some dust that's starting to build. Let's open the curtains and let's get some sunshine in there. Let's open the windows, some natural air. Let's get some hope, okay? The 102. The 102 is your hope. You're about to get Malik Neighbors. Remember how earlier I said you had no pillars to build around? There you go. There's your first pillar to build around. Outside of Kyle Pitts, which, we're waiting to see if he can really become who we want him to become. But you've got Malik Neighbors there. Now, a blockbuster trade back is not out of the question for this team. This team, this barren of assets, if someone offers you 3 first-round picks, and one of those is inside the top 5. Let's say someone gives you the 103 and 2 more future firsts, right? Let's say someone gives you the 107 and 2 firsts in 2025 and 1 in 2026, but they want your second, right? Whatever you get as far as like a blockbuster, it's still on the table for the 102. Now, if there is no blockbuster deal that comes along, take Malik Neighbors and feel confident in knowing that you finally have your first building block piece for this Dynasty team. At the 105, my best available player in my rankings is either one of Troy Franklin or Brian Thomas Jr. Now, if for whatever reason Brock Bowers is available, he's absolutely in play for this team. This team is so rough in every position. We're not trying to fill any position in particular. We are getting the best value at every pick, no matter what. At the 106, we talked about Caleb Williams being in play. And if not Caleb Williams, you can look again. Brian Thomas Jr., Troy Franklin, Alad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell. It's probably too early for any running back given this class, but that's fine. We don't need running backs. Quite frankly, I would be super comfortable going into 2024, and your only 2 running backs on this roster are Eric Gray and Joshua Kelly. I don't care. I just don't care because we don't have any chance to win this league, and we don't need running backs right now. We can figure that out way down the road when our team is somewhat competent, right? So look, I think the way to improve this team, again, take your pillars at the 102 and Neighbors or trade back and get a haul. Same thing for the 105 and the 106. You can trade these picks for absolute hauls if those come your way. If someone's going to give you the 108 and a 25 first for the 106, you take it and you don't even think about it, right? Trading back is going to be your best friend to get as many assets as you possibly can. Now, you do have the 25 first from a team named First and Tua. I'm not going to say the rest of that team name. This team's going to be middle of the pack. So that 25 first is not going anywhere. We're keeping that 25 first It's already home. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, it's trade backs. It's trading, you know, your 4-year 25 firsts. And then it's playing the patient game. At the 205 and at the 208, at the 302, at the 402, again, we're going best player available with all those picks. I'll tell you with my rankings, the 205 in a 10 team would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be like Jermaine Burton's, Trey Benson's, Jonathan Brooks, Keon Coleman's, Xavier Legette's, your Polks. At the 208, same thing there. So this is going to be a long, long road. And I know I like to be as positive as I can, but I also think honesty is important, Isaiah. And he says, I strongly believe I can get Neighbors, Bowers, and Williams. That's a great start. That's a great start. But yes, Isaiah, the main mission is to get your first back. And can I just say that you are already in a great position with your mindset. You're not unrealistic with where this team is. This team has a lot of work to do. This team's in a terrible spot, and it's a long way from competing in a 10-team, one-quarterback format. But you have the right mindset. You know that. You're open to feedback, and it's going to take a while, but trading back, tearing down, all that is your best friend in this format. And obviously getting your 25 first back is absolute priority. Now, if I had to give your team a grade from an A to an F scale, probably hovering around a C, C minus, C minus, considering the format. But there is hope in the form of those draft picks, and hopefully you getting back that 25 first round pick. What I'm concerned about is I think these two boys at the top here, these two players at the top, I think these are veteran Dynasty players. And I think they've probably made some trades that have taken advantage of other teams in this league. I mean, you're telling me team one looks like this, and then we have a team in this league at the bottom here looking like this. Yeah, I think there might have been a vet in this league, a vet Dynasty player that might have taken advantage of some people. But hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world. But yes, in summation, team's in a rough spot right now. But with persistence, with the right moves, you can get to a better place, okay? Joe says, catch your buddies when they're drunk. Yes, that's perfect. But Isaiah, I want to give you a 30 seconds here to ask me any final questions. You got me. This is your time to shine. Any last minute questions that you've got, let me know. Isaiah says that's exactly what happened. Apparently he was drunk and made some bad trades. But yeah, guys, let this be a lesson, if anything. I know I say it often, and a lot of people say I'm too harsh on it, but there are very, very few scenarios where I'm feeling comfortable trading my future first round picks. Very few scenarios. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, guys. I'm waiting to see if Isaiah has any final questions, but I think the chat did a great job interacting with Isaiah, giving him ideas. I hope I have been helpful. I have probably been relatively, I don't know. I've probably been relatively harsh, but hopefully it was received from a good place. Sidekick says, just wanted to give some well-deserved flowers. I know you two got some feedback last offseason about being a little too confrontational with each other, and I can tell you've worked to remedy that. Yeah, but Aki and I, we've always had that feedback. We have. And it's funny because we'll look back and we'll be like, did you feel like we were like really hard against each other? And we're like, no, but people feel that way. I think but Aki and I, we play Call of Duty together most nights. We talk shit to each other almost every day. I feel like our relationship is almost like how you would fight with like a brother. And I don't think that's like very often shown in our industry. Not to say that's wrong. I just think it's different because we have this perspective where like there's not a moment where I'm not going to tell Badaki exactly what I think, and that rubs people the wrong way. And there's plenty of people who just don't like the way I approach things. And I'm sure the same with Badaki, and that's okay. You know, not everybody likes vanilla ice cream. Not everybody likes strawberry ice cream, or, you know, pick your flavor. So I appreciate that. What I can promise y'all is that we're always going to be ourselves, and we are trying better to not let our differences of opinion get in the way with the content we create. So, but anyway, Isaiah says, I'm a big boy. He can handle it. All right. Thank you, Isaiah. I really appreciate you, man. Hey, anyone out there who is watching the show, and thanks Sidekick for the love. Appreciate you. But yeah, I know, like, some people who view our content, they're like, damn, these guys are like annoying. Why do they talk to each other that way? And we're just like, we talk to each other like this all the time. But I think we just have that kind of relationship where, like, you say anything, you're not going to hold back in hopes of not hurting someone's feelings or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. All right. If you guys want your team reviewed on our channel, it's very simple. All you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. Got to use the code LAND. Otherwise, you are ineligible for us to get our perks, essentially. But again, go to the Flock Fantasy website. Use the promo code LAND. Become a Mother Flocker member. Once you have done that, by the way, guys, we talked about this last week. We kept talking about how there was an instant access button. Well, we're dumbasses, and it wasn't actually released on the site yet. I can now confirm that there is an instant access sign up option. So if you want to do the 7-day free trial, that's fine. You just won't be eligible for a team review until that free trial is over. However, if you want instant access to a team review, there is an instant access button when you sign up now. When you do sign up with our promo code LAND as a Mother Flocker, go to your account up here in the top right. Okay, link your Discord. Once you have linked your Discord, you will automatically be able to see all of our premium channels under the Fantasyland tab, including roster submissions, where we just looked at Emanike's team here. All right, the next team we're going to look at is MackZurray. Thank you for the support, MackZurray. This is someone who supports us over on the Flock Fantasy website using our promo code LAND. What we will do is we will go ahead and look at your league. And while that is being pulled up, let's read the context. 12-team SuperFlex with tight end premium. This past year was my first year playing Dynasty, and I did terrible. So I've sold out for the 24 draft and plans to start my rebuild. Holding the 101, 104, 105, 106, and 201, as well as several later picks. I'm planning on drafting Marvin 1, and am fairly confident with the next 2 picks will be quarterbacks. Thinking of going with whatever quarterback is left over, than Neighbors and Adunze, but was also thinking of going Bowers instead and hoping a quarterback slides to the 201, McCarthy or Nix. Desperate for pretty much every position, in real need of wide receiver core above all. Hoping to get your thoughts, and any other advice would be great. That is awesome. And it looks like he's here. Zachary Murray is here. You'd love to see it. Zachary? Spelt like how I spell my name. Zachary. So I know you're a good dude. I can tell. But La Portobello Mushrooms is a team name. I'm going to assume we have Laporta. It is a 12-team, reminder, SuperFlex tight end premium. And wouldn't you know it, Keep Trade Cut has us as the second-ranked team. But it does look like you have a Grim Reaper who is very experienced, who has a 99 grade. Look at that squad. Sheesh. Look at that squad. Every league has one. Every league has a Grim Reaper. Okay. La Portobello Mushrooms. So we have Joe Burrow, Will Levis, Jake Browning. Now, we talked about this when we were looking at your team. We have the 104, the 105, and the 101. Man, you know what? If I knew Neighbors would be at the 104, I would take Caleb 101. Okay. Look, if you don't know how the draft is going to pan out, then I get it. Like, take Marvin 1 if that's who you want to take, and then whatever quarterbacks are available at the 104 and the 105, take your pick. Is that Daniels and May? Great, that's fine. But either way, I would say with this team, especially it being a SuperFlex league, my goal would be with these 3 picks, 1 wide receiver, 2 quarterbacks, right? So whether that is Caleb, Neighbors, Daniels, for example, or Marvin, Daniels, May, as an example, either way, I'm completely fine with that. You seek your opinion on this class, and if you just have a preference towards Marvin, that's fine. This team is in a position where you could go either way, and I truly don't think that there is a wrong answer at the 101 this year between Marvin and Caleb. Now, I will say, you have to think about it. If Caleb Williams goes to Chicago and they draft Rome Odunze, for example, at the 109 with their 9th overall pick, it's going to be hard for you to not take Caleb Williams, who would start his career with a good offensive line, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze. So all I'm saying is there's a scenario there where you're like, damn, I mean, can I really pass on Caleb Williams? But either way, with these 3 picks, I do not want to trade them away. I truly feel like these are foundational pieces moving forward. Now, of course, I'm not going to say like that's 100% the answer. Like, if someone offers you a package that you just cannot refuse, use your fantasy hotline, send us a trade, and we'll give you some feedback. But if you win this draft, if you get 2 quarterbacks and 1 wide receiver out of these 3 picks, is that Neighbors plus quarterbacks, Caleb and someone else? Is that Marvin plus Daniels, May, whatever? Either way, you do you. I don't think you can mess up those top 5 picks, because clearly you have a drastic need at wide receiver, and clearly we need to upgrade our quarterback position as well. And what I would say is, do not force an Odunze with one of these picks. Is this tied in premium? It is tied in premium. Even then, I would not force a Brock Bowers with one of these picks. You know, we said this last year. The most common question, I promise you, the most common question we got all last year during rookie drafts was, Zach, I don't need a quarterback. I need a wide receiver, and I love JSN. I'm at the 105. I'm going to take JSN over Stroud. Is that okay? Every single time we said, look, I get it. I love JSN as well. But in a SuperFlex format, a guy who was just selected 2nd overall in the NFL draft, there is no way you pass on a quarterback there, even if it is not a need, right? There were some people who went JSN over Stroud because they didn't have a quarterback need, and they ultimately regretted it. This is the same scenario. You're going to be looking at your team and saying, I have Joe Burrow. Why would I add Daniels and May and Levis, right? Why would I have 4 quarterbacks there? You're in a position where you need to take the best player available. So again, I would strongly encourage you, 1 wide receiver, 2 quarterbacks with these first 5 picks, first 3 picks, because I think those are the best players available at your pick. Now, at the running back spot, this team is in a great position to sell Breece Hall high. I think you need to. I honestly think you need to. There is just no scenario in which you need Breece Hall on this team right now. Let's think about it. You get Joe Burrow and Caleb Williams and they pop off, but your wide receiver room, you've probably got Quentin Johnston starting. There is no scenario in which you get an RB2 that puts you in contention here either, right? We're not getting anyone, that's going to complement Breece Hall towards a championship contending window, right? So you absolutely can sell Breece Hall. And honestly, team 1 is not a bad team to negotiate with, because he's clearly the best team in the league. He might not feel like he needs an RB2, but if you were to kind of, dangle the carrot in front of him, hey man, you want Gibbs and Brees? You're going to win the league. Would he consider moving Puka or Garrett? I think he would. And Puka and Garrett are two assets that I feel better building around long term than a guy like Brees Hall, than a position that is, so volatile. There's just so much up and down with the running back position. So this is a super flex league. What does the Keep Trade Cut community, how do they see this? So in Keep Trade Cut, they actually have Brees Hall ranked ahead of Garrett Wilson overall as an asset. How about Puka? Would they also say that for Puka? So they would say Puka is a fair trade. I'd love to go out and build around my wide receiver room. I don't think we need Brees on this team yet. Because let me paint you the vision I'm trying to paint. Ideally, at the beginning of the 2024 season, I feel great about my quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end room. And for me, in a super flex format, those are the positions I'm really trying to build up anyway. Running backs, I can trade for... Guys, Alvin Kamara went for a 3rd round pick last year. Do you know how easy it is to trade for startable running backs? Obviously, you're not going to have a Brees Hall, right? But if you're in a position where you can compete next year, who is that veteran running back that's going for a 3rd round pick? You can get James Conner. You can get Alvin Kamara's of the world. Let me extend that list. Where's Nick Chubb at that point, right? Where's Joe Mixon at that point? How about Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Aaron Jones? Is there a Raheem Mostert that comes out of nowhere that people are selling for a 3rd round pick at the beginning of the year, right? So running backs are so volatile. I would much, much rather build around quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. So I think we are definitely a team that could sell Brees Hall for a package. This guy's got Puka Nacua. He's got Garrett Wilson. Is there any scenario where you can somehow get Justin Jefferson there? That would be really interesting, but I doubt he'd do it. He has your 1st round pick next year. How did that happen? Man, I really need to start by looking at future firsts. Damn, dude. How did you get your 1st, brother? Moment of silence. Moment of silence here. We don't have our 25 1st round pick. In fact, we don't have a... We have Winter Solists 25 1st. Who's Winter Solist here? Okay. I mean, this team is ranked low, but you can't look at this team and tell me it's not going to compete. This team's going to be in the playoffs. Maybe. Maybe. It could very easily go sideways for this team. So that pick is very valuable. Okay. Can we get our 25 1st back? Dang. He says, I traded it with the 111 for the 106. Oh, I get it, but I wish we could have reversed that trade now. Zachary says, still figuring it out. I thought maybe his pick was more valuable. No, I hear you. The issue is, again, just the flexibility of your roster. You really limit your flexibility when you don't control your future. But yeah, Pierce says this is the theme of the video. Again, guys, be very, very hesitant sending your 1st round picks. It's it's going to put you in a tough spot. But that's okay. The good news is we have Breece Hall. So instead of trying to get, Garrett Wilson for Breece Hall, I think the first trade I would send out there is Breece Hall. Can I get Tank Dell and my first back? That first is going to be early. Let's keep that in mind. That's probably, looking at your team, that's going to be an early first. Can we get something like this deal done? Is that something that we can get done? That's the starting point. It's unlikely he says yes straight away, but that is the starting point. Now, I'd like to use Levis in this deal as well. Like Levis and like the 211 for your first. No, you'd probably, let's be honest, dude. You'd probably have to use a 201. You could maybe do that. That could maybe be something that you could explore. But really, it's got to be Breece or Levis. Let's be honest. These are the players that are untouchable on your team. Joe Burrow, Sam Laporta. Right? So we're not moving them. But if we can make a package of Will Levis or Breece Hall to get that 25 first back, we're sitting pretty. Okay? I am genuinely obsessed with the idea of getting Tank Dell and your first for Breece Hall. And let's say you had to add the 211 there or something, Like if you had to add the 211 to get that deal done, fine. Fine. It's worth controlling your destiny. It's worth controlling your destiny. But I think that should be our number one priority there. Okay? Because obviously some of the moves that we're going to be making is kind of setting us up almost for like a 1-year punt. Like best case scenario here, you punt it for 1 year. And then with Marvin or Neighbors plus an Dunze, if that's where you go, or a Bowers, you can get like an Adonai here, and Xavier Worthy here, a Lai McConkey here. Like there's a scenario here where this team turns around in 1 year. But we want our 25 first to have that flexibility in next year's draft. To either draft a running back, which by the way, next year's running back class is very good, or to cash it in for players. So yeah, got to get that 25 first back. But if we do that, we'll be sitting pretty. What would the chat think about Will Levis and the 201? I think that's worth exploring. And then you just absolutely lock in. But man, are we giving up on Levis too early? I'm not a Levis guy. I know a lot of people are though. There's no way he would do Levis in the 211. He just wouldn't do that. That could be your starting point though. Does he have any picks in 2024? No, the 111 is his first one. So look, you try it. Okay. Will Levis, Breece Hall. I can't tell you exactly how the deal goes, but those are the two names that you start the conversation with. You open the door, and ultimately through, I'm sure, a bunch of counters, you'll get to a place where you're both happy. And feel free to send us whatever those offers are in the fantasy hotline. But let's get to some good news. That's your tight end spot. Laporta, Mayer. Let's get rid of Darnell Washington. Let's be honest. This is an offensive lineman. But we're sitting pretty, man. There's no reason to trade Laporta. There's no reason to trade Michael Mayer. Laporta, historic rookie season, is young. We can trust tight ends all the way into their early 30s. So yeah, that's a building block right there. Michael Mayer, a player that I told you guys to trade for earlier in the week in a video. That could be another building block, a guy who could only gain value. All last year, I was encouraging people to go out and buy Trey McBride. I think this is my Trey McBride this year. In a tight end premium format, I think he could gain value this year. Those are your pillars right there at the tight end spot. Joe Burrow is your pillar, and these picks right here are also your pillars. So you're going to have, let's just say you go Caleb at the 1, right? Your pillars will be Caleb, Joe Burrow, Sam Laporta, Michael Mayer, Malik Neighbors, and Jaden Daniels or Drake May. Let's say you go the other way where you go Marvin at the 101. Your pillars will be Marvin Harrison Jr., Daniels, May, Burrow, Laporta, Mayer. That is a very good room to build around. At the 106, I know you have good tight ends. Brock Bowers is totally in play in a tight end premium format. 100% he's in play there. If Brock Bowers, if someone is a tight end needy team and they want to trade up for Brock, I mean, for example, this dude has Dallas Goedert as his tight end 1, and he's trying to compete for a championship. I bet you he'd give you something very impressive for the 106, but all I'm saying is don't rule out Brock Bowers there. He's totally in contention. Dude, what is going on with your league? Is someone hoarding all the good tight ends? Okay. Wow. Okay. Brock Bowers is locked and loaded at the 106 then. You want to know why? Because look at the tight ends that your league is working with. This guy is competing. He has Dallas Goedert as his tight end 1. Okay. Team 3 here. Cole Kmet as his tight end 1, then Tucker Kraft. Team 4. Isaiah Likely as his tight end 1, then Chigakonkwo. Team 5, sitting pretty. They're fine. Same with Team 6. Team 7, Kyle Pitts. Will Kyle Pitts be ready to compete this year? Team 8 has Mark Andrews. They're fine. But we've got Kittle there. That's fine. But those top teams that we just mentioned, and even some of these teams at the bottom here, these are teams that are competing, and they need tight end. Brock Bowers in the tight end premium format with these top teams needing tight end could bring you back an absolute gold mine. So yes, he's locked and loaded there. At the 201, at the 211, ideally we're going wide receiver here, right? Your Xavier Worthies, your Adonai Mitchells, your Ladd McConkeys. At the 211, you won't be able to get those type of players, but that's where you can take a shot on a running back. You know, Tajay Spears was going around there last year. Is that Marshawn Lloyd? Is that Bucky Irvin? Or do you keep going wide receiver? Is that a Ricky Pearsall, Slick Ricky? Is that a Javon Baker, a guy that I like, a Tez Walker? You know, we'll find out where those picks should be headed once the draft happens. But this team is a fun team, man, because you have a lot of draft capital. You just need to get your future first back. So yeah, I think you're in a good position. So let me walk you through what an ideal world looks like as we head into the 2024 season. In an ideal world, we have Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. We've traded Will Levis in a package for our 25 first back. Who knows what that package looks like entirely, right? If we've done that, we no longer have Breece Hall. We don't have to move him. But if we get a huge package back for him, like let's say Garrett Wilson in a second or something, or a Puka Nacua or whatever the case may be, then let's build around that wide receiver room. Our running backs can be completely bare. That's fine. Maybe we take a shot on a Corum, a Lloyd, a Irving. That's totally fine for this one. Our wide receiver room, we've got Neighbors or Marvin. Fantastic. We've also added at the 201 an Adonai Mitchell, an Xavier Worthy, a Ladd McConkey. At the 211, we've added one of those other names. So we're building around our wide receiver room. And like I mentioned, hopefully we turned Breece Hall into one of those upper echelon wide receivers as well. In our tight end room, we've got Laporta and Brock Bowers. We've got the bell of the ball. And every person in the league is jealous of our tight end room. Well, hey, pay up. Pay up. How many first round picks are you willing to offer for Brock Bowers? For Sam Laporta? I'll get rid of one of them. Whichever one gives me the most in return. So yeah, there's a very clear pathway for this team turning it around and turning it around very quickly. But let's get that 25 first back. Also, we are not sitting away this first either from Winter Solist. Nuh-uh. that bad boy is home. He's exactly where he should be, because that team could implode. But yeah, I think this is a really fun team. A really fun team. Zachary says dropped and added Washington like 4 times. Thinking Lat at the 201. I love Lat at the 201. So let me know if you have any questions, Zachary. This is your time to shine. You got me all attention, no distractions. Any questions that you have at all, pop them through. I am super happy to answer any questions to help you out here if you have any last minute ones, but we've given you some direction. I feel like this is a 1-year punt on this team. It's a 1-year punt. We're building around quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. Hopefully we have our first round pick next year, and then we can draft really good running backs, or we can use the picks that we've accumulated to build out the rest of the team. And then all of a sudden in 2025, we're competing. You're not far off. You're not far off. You're very close. Yes, that's what I would be doing, Zachary. You know, I was probably leaning Adunze at the 106 when I saw your team. But looking at the rest of your league, Bowers is going to be the best value, man. Now, unless he just falls drastically down draft boards, we'll have to reassess. But I think Bowers is going to be the best value for you. Most people need a very good tight end in your league, the guys who are competing. And we care about best value, not what positions we necessarily need. So, yeah, I would be going 2 quarterbacks, wide receiver, Bowers with those first round picks. Then trade for other top tier wide receivers. Yeah, obviously we want to get our 2025 first back, right? But if you make those moves in this draft, Bowers, who knows what he could return for you this time next year, or Sam Laporta. You know, let's say you're comfortable with Bowers moving in, and before the 2024 season, someone in your league offers you an absolute huge package. I keep saying huge package for Sam Laporta. Okay, let's take that. Someone gives you freaking, Chris Olave and 2 firsts. Right? Unlikely, but it gives us a ton of flexibility in a league that should value tight ends highly. So, yes. I think you're sitting pretty, man. Let me know if you have any last minute questions. I'm going to take a drink of water. I am starting to lose my voice a little bit here. I've recorded 3 hours worth of content before the stream. We've been live for how long now? Let me check. We've been live for 62 minutes. I've just been talking for 4 hours straight. Them vocal cords is wanting to rest. But Zachary, let me know if you have any last minute questions. He says great advice. Thank you. Appreciate that. I definitely hear that. Yeah. But all right, guys, if you want your team graded, I'm about to go to the next team for today, probably the last team for today. But if you want your team graded by yours truly, all you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND on the Flock Fantasy website. Once you've become a Mother Flocker member with our code, go in the top right here, click account, link your Discord, and then you should get access to all of our premium Discord channels, including roster submissions tab. You can see here we have graded both of these teams today. We'll get to another one as well. But not only do you get the roster submissions tab unlocked, as well as all those premium Discord channels, you also unlock our rookie report. Version 2.0 is out right now. I'm already scouting players for version 3.0. Oh my God. I want to tell you guys so badly about a couple of rookies that I think could be real steals late. I'm talking like 4th round steals. But I'll wait for that video to come out. Those players will also be in V3. You also get our rankings, SuperFlex 1 quarterback, prospect rankings, the trade calculator. All that is unlocked when you become a Motherflocker member with the promo code LAND. All right. Is MarkLatter in the chat? Is it Latter or Ladder? Let us know, Mark. But we are looking at your team now. Let me know if you're in the chat. I always love having some back and forth. It's so fun when the person's team that you're reviewing is in the chat. That instant feedback, that instant back and forth, it's awesome. We really, really love it. WG says, does the next team have the 25 first? That is going to be the first thing I check before I say anything. All right. Ladder says, league is currently... I know, I'm going to check. League is currently 1 quarterback, no tight end premium. Okay, 1 quarterback, no tight end premium, but just had a vote to switch to SuperFlex tight end premium. This will begin in 2025 to allow a year to adjust. That's the way you do it, guys. If you're going to make any drastic rule changes, don't make them overnight. Give people an entire year to really plan out for those rule changes. So, hey, well done to this league. You did it the right way, guys. So we're about to be SuperFlex tight end premium. He says, won the league last year, started a crazy rebuild like 3 years ago, and it really paid off. Team is strong, but is there any moves to be made to adjust to this new format? The league is with friends from high school, and some teams have put themselves in bad situations. Any help is appreciated. Let me know if there's anything you do in my situation. Thanks. He says, start 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex, a kicker, and a defense. So offensively, start 9. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Mark is in the chat. He says, she's my baby. Treat her good. I love it. I love it. All right, the first thing I need to check is, do we have our 2025 first round pick? To infinity and Bijan. Let's check. Do we have our 2025 first? No. "30-second moment of silence." I'm joking. I'm joking. Look, I think this is one of those rare scenarios where your team is so stacked. It's probably okay you don't have your 25 first. I'm totally kidding. Let's look at the team. Again, guys, right now it's a 1 quarterback format, but we will be going to SuperFlex next year. So this year in 24, it will be 1 quarterback, no tight end premium, but it's going to SuperFlex tight end premium. And you, my friend, have built a squad. Damn, son. Look at them picks, too. Oh, this is a flex. This is a flex, Mark. Don't lie. This is a flex. Mark says, I just recently bought Burrow after I sent that to bought him on the Super Bowl. So what did you buy Burrow for, Mark? I'm curious. I want to know how your league values quarterbacks, considering it is 1 quarterback right now. However, it's about to be SuperFlex. What was that deal? Tell me. But let's talk about the team. We've got Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins. Let's just get this out of the way right away, straight away. We are drafting in the 2024 draft as if it's a SuperFlex league. We are not drafting as if this is a 1 quarterback format. No. We're operating as a SuperFlex league, even though that change only happens next year. And I think you're going to have a lot of quarterbacks on your roster. So it looks like Mark sent Tyreek, Kenneth, and Baker for Burrow. That's a pretty even deal. I like that. especially considering the running backs that you have, I think that's a no-brainer to get Burrow. Well done. Well done. That's a big-time win for you, I'd say. That's probably someone who didn't understand what SuperFlex is actually going to mean for them next year. But anyway, your quarterback spot. I mean, we're talking about a team that is probably going to enter the 2024 season with Mahomes, Burrow, Cousins, maybe Caleb Williams, definitely Drake May, Jaden Daniels. Good Lord, you're going to be stacked at the quarterback spot. Who has the 101 here? Who has the 101? I want to see what they could potentially be doing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This guy. Look at that. So he has a 101. Do you have any indication on what this team is going to do, Mark? Tell me. Do you have any indication what they're doing? Have they told you any way that they're leaning? He said, Caleb. Okay, I honestly think that is in your favor. In this scenario, with you already having Mahomes and Burrow, and my personal opinion, having Caleb and Marvin in the same tier as talents, I think that actually works in your favor. It also works in your favor because you're going to be able to pick a lot of quarterbacks outside of Caleb anyway. So how we're going to play this is the 102. We're locking in Marvin Harrison Jr. That's perfect. You know, could we play this a different way too? I'm trying to think if we can get Marvin and Neighbors and still benefit from the quarterbacks with the amount of picks that you have. So let's map this out. 102 is Caleb Williams, or is Marvin, right? Let me open up a document. I'm losing my mind here. Let me map this out. So we currently have 102, 103, 104, 106. 102, 103, 104, 106. Right? That's what we have right now. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. So Marvin, if we went Neighbors, or we could go Daniels or May here, right? If we went Neighbors here. No. That means the 105 could control it, so no. No. Okay, so we can't really control it that way, unfortunately. WG says it's just getting real when a Word document's out. Yeah, look at this. We're getting real. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to have that flexibility. I'm just thinking it through in my head, guys. But let me ask, Mark, do you anticipate your league drafting for one quarterback or as Superflex? Mark says, this league is with all my friends from high school, all very into it. I was thinking of Marvin, Neighbors, and then May or Daniels. Hopefully Bowers at 106. Thing is, I got absolutely no picks after. The guy taking Caleb has a 105. No. Okay, so they're going to draft it as a Superflex. Okay. Okay. But it is a tight end premium. It is a tight end premium, though. So, let's find that guy who has a 101 again. He has a 105 as well. Yeah. this guy's going to take Caleb. And then, you know what? He might be really incentivized to take Bowers at the 105. Man, I wish I knew how this was going to go. Ultimately, I think and look, you're going to have different opinions from different people, man. But I have said this many times. My tier 1 is Caleb, Marvin, Neighbors is my 3rd ranked player in the class, Daniels, May. All those guys are in my tier 1. That's why I've consistently said I have no problem trading back from the 101 to the 104, from the 102 to the 104, from the 103 to the 105. Because I really believe that those first 5 picks... I mean, guys, think about it. Those could be the first 5 picks of the NFL draft. That's how good this class is. Right? Could be Caleb at 1, May and Daniels at 2 and 3, Marvin at 4, and Neighbors at 5. Right? So I think the way I'm playing this, considering you're going to have Burrow, Mahomes, and then Daniels, I think I'm adding Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then the great thing is you're putting the guy at the 105. He has to go, oh, wait, what do I do here? And at worst case scenario, you're getting May or Bowers in a tight end premium. We just mapped it out. Now, what I will say is this is a little bit fluid. All right. Still multiple months away from the NFL draft. So keep in mind, there is a scenario if Neighbors falls out of the top 10 and both of those quarterbacks go top 3. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the NFL likes Neighbors way more than the Dynasty community does. I think the Dynasty community thinks there's this huge gap between him and Marvin. Not me. I don't think so. Name that movie. Leave being a superhero to the guys? I don't think so. I like this. I like the way this is panned out here. This is our map. Take a screenshot. Make sure it's fluid. Now, here's what I will say. There's a scenario where Neighbors falls out of the top 10. Okay. I don't think it happens. But let's say Neighbors falls out of the top 10. Let's say Bowers falls out of the top 20. Keep in mind, guys, this time last year, no one was mocking Michael Mayer outside the top 15. I think Bowers is a superior prospect by far. That's not what I'm saying. The tight end position at times is not valued that way. So there's a scenario. If Neighbors falls downwards, I don't think it happens. If Bowers falls out of the top 20, I don't think it happens, but it could. And May is a top 5 pick. Don't overthink it. May goes at the 104 for you, even though you don't need quarterback. Okay. But yeah, we just mapped that out for you. And really, I don't really feel like you even need to, yeah, like in this format, you know, I was thinking about how you have no future first round or no future picks, which by the way, oh my God, we have our 5th round pick next year. What the hell happened? But look, that's what I would be looking to do with your first round picks. I just think that the top half of this first round is just absolute gold. I do not think you can mess it up. I do not think you can mess this up. Now, what I will say is, you're going to be competing this year. How many starting? It's a start 9, but it will be a start 10 when they add SuperFlex. So you'll be able to start still 5 wide receivers at a time. Jefferson, Smith, Tank, Neighbors, Marvin. Okay, look, you don't need to do this, But I wouldn't be opposed to selling one of Debo or DK. Ideally Debo. I want to get some more capital in future drafts. I don't want to be completely barren. So I think Kirk Cousins, is expendable. Do not be surprised when Kirk Cousins gets a multi-year deal here soon, whether it's with the Vikings or with another team that needs him. Okay, as soon as that happens, give me a 26 first. If you don't want to give me your 25 first, give me a 26 first. To a team that's super needy at quarterback. The Pollard Express, for example. No picks this year, clearly trying to compete. Oh, bless this poor man's soul. What did you do to this poor man? What did you do to this poor man? This guy's got Taysom Hill as a starting tight end. And he has no picks in the top 5. This poor man. But yeah, there are plenty of teams that need a Kirk Cousins. Even this guy, dude. This guy's perfect. Jalen Hurts, Josh Dobbs, no picks in 2024. Hey, man, let me get that 26 first, yeah? And look, you probably have to add on something to get a first for Cousins at this point, but he is expendable. Same way Deebo Samuel or DK Metcalf, one or the other, are expendable as well. Ideally, if we can somehow turn Kirk Cousins and Deebo or DK plus some of these 5th round picks or whatever, or this third into a couple firsts, I feel really good about this team moving forward, considering you're about to add a bunch of more superstars to this team as well. But yeah, man, you are absolutely killing the game right now. You're absolutely killing the game. You'll probably win the league this year. And you'll also have one of the youngest teams moving forward anyway. And this team, like we talked about with this format here, let's say May does go at the 105. And again, this should all stay fluid. Okay. It's a tight end premium. I love Kyle Pitts, but let's add Brock Bowers there. That's completely fine. Yeah, so you're chilling, man. I actually want to open the floor to you, Mark. I want to know if you have any specific questions for me. And by the way, Keep Trade Cut has you ranked 99 out of 100. Dirty Mike and the boys is 89, so 10-point difference. This team is good, but they're not on the same level as you. They don't have the running back power that you have. If I had to grade each of your positions, your quarterbacks would be an A+++++++. Your running backs would be an A+++++++ Beyonce. Your wide receivers would be an A. You're about to add Marvin and Neighbor, so an A+. Your tight ends would be a B. Fantastic team. Mark says Tank Dell and Pitts or CMC. I'm trying to see this here. My screen's a little messed up. Or CMC and Kmet. I just don't think you need CMC. I just don't think you need him. I would keep Tank Dell and Pitts. As crazy as that sounds. What are you going to do? Can you even start 4? You can only start 4 running backs. So if you did that, you would have to, given your team, you'd be starting Gibbs, Brees, and Bijan and CMC every single week, which is not a problem. It's certainly not a problem, but no, I just don't think you need to do that. Mark says, I'd be starting Brees, Bijan, CMC, and Gibbs in my flex, and then probably JJ, Devontae, and DK. I'd start them all. Got to catch them all. Look. This is going to come down to how much you believe in Tank Dell based off the little that we saw and how much you believe in Pitts' future. In a tight end premium league, not guaranteed to go get Brock Bowers, by the way. We don't know if we're getting Bowers or not. If you don't get Bowers, you're stuck with Evan Ingram in that scenario, which isn't a bad tight end. But what if Evan Ingram goes down? Dalton Schultz? We don't even know where he's playing next year. So I just don't think you need to do that move. And Kmet is like, yeah, I just don't really think you need to do that. Yeah. It's like, look, if you had like Bijan and like Ramondre and Aaron Jones, I'd be like, oh yeah, take it in a heartbeat. But I just don't think you need to do that. I would be super open to something other than Kmet, though. What team is that? What team has Cole Kmet? Oh my gosh, your league is so funny. Like the difference in teams is vast. This is the guy who has what? Why the hell would this guy sell Christian McCaffrey? That does not make sense. So, what if Tank Dell and Pitts? I just don't think you need to do it, bro. Tank Dell and Pitts. I'm trying to think of a counter I like. Can we get Ayuk somehow? Tank Dell and Pitts. What? I wonder if he values Devonta Smith more than Tank Dell. Can we make it Devonta Smith and Kyle Pitts? And let's add that 312 and as many 5th round picks as you want to make it CMC and Ayuk. I know that this trade probably sounds unrealistic. I'm just trying to piece something together as a counter just to see what could be fun. And we said 312's not gonna, it's not gonna move him. Does that guy need a quarterback? Yeah, he does. He does need a quarterback. What if we add Kirk to this deal? Man, if I knew Bowers was there at the 106, I think you might be able to do this. If I knew Bowers was there, I'd pull the trigger on something like this. But yeah, you don't need to make that move. But if we get Kirk Tuggins involved, or what if you took out Kyle Pitts completely and made it CMC and Kmet? What do we think about that? McCaffrey commit for Tank Dell and Cousins? Or does he really want Kyle Pitts? Those are some counters you could think of. Those are some counters that you could think of there. He says, I tried Kirk, Debo, Pitts for CMC and Komet. And he didn't bite on that? Look, I wouldn't force it. Try some of those counters. If he's not down, then that's okay. Like we always say to people, though, feel free to use your fantasy hotline. Let us know what deals come through, what sort of counters you've gotten to. But yeah, great team, man. Let me know if you have any last minute questions. This team is hilarious, dude. Or this league is hilarious. Just the discrepancy between all these teams. But you better believe it. People will be preying on your downfall. You don't have any of your first round picks. They're going to be preying on your downfall, my friend. But great team, man. Very, very well done across the board. That's probably going to be it for tonight, though, guys. I do appreciate everyone who is showing up to the stream, who's hanging out, who's having fun. Do me a favor. I haven't asked this entire stream, I just realized, but do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. Let's see if we can get to 50. We're at 35 right now. Can we get 15 likes on as the stream is coming to a close? If you guys want your team reviewed on the stream, very simple. I'll tell you one last time if you want this experience for yourself. All you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member on the Flock Fantasy website with the promo code LAND. That promo code is going to get 30% off. When you become a Mother Flocker member with our code, go to account, link your Discord, and then you should be able to unlock the roster submissions tab, just like all these great people here have done today. Lonely Shoe, Jams, Cold Case, all these other guys we're going to get to on the next stream. So don't you worry. We're going to get to you. But that is it for today. And we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. Big love. Big love. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you soon. All love.